Nicholas Iriagada is in 11th in the Audi R8, and then Adriano Carrazza boxed his qualifying lap in the Toyota Supra, giving himself a lot of work to do. Now, Jimmy, I'll first look at the tyres here, and we can see the top five, I should say, starting on the softs.
Yeah, unsurprising, really. If you're Igor Fraga at the head of this field, you want to try and get away as soon as possible. The worst possible thing on these opening laps is to get involved in a fight and lose time. That's how tight the margins are in these races. Towards the back of the field, of course, it's interesting to see it go down as far as 6th to 12th on that hard compounder tyre. So we're going to have two groups at the start of this race. Let's see how it pans out over the course of 30 laps.
Yeah, really keen to see what Adriano Carrazza can do. You wonder whether he may have just gone, for the soft tyre to go and get those on in the early stages, but he decided to go for the hard, decided to go for the same strategy as everybody else around him, and let's see what he'll be able to do and what kind of progress he'll be able to make up in the field. His best hope, I'm sure, is to try and get himself to the head of the... Underway here in Montreal as we go green. It's underway. It's underway here in Montreal as we go green at the Autodromo de Interlagos. Igor Fraga leads the field across the timing line, down in towards the centre S. Sasaki in second, Barbara in third place. No moves being made courtesy of the rolling start, spreading that field out a little bit more. But the run through this left-hander on the run down the Retroposta could give us an opportunity to see some moves being made. Igor Fraga doesn't have the benefit of that slipstream, that hole being punched in the air in front of him, so he'll be a bit down on straight line speed, but he holds his lead for now as we come through to the left of turn 4. It's as you were at the front.
Yeah, difficult to overtake on this first lap. As you say, rolling start just spread the cars a little bit here. But now going into this middle sector, it seems that Gallo in the Honda has closed up onto the back of Guy Barber ever so slightly, as has Barber onto Sasaki. So the second, third and fourth very close right now. Already a penalty there for Arriagada. We have to think maybe for some track limits there. Carrazza up into P11. On board now with Valerio Gallo for Team Honda. Great view here of the train in front. Now you're on, it's the first lap now, just about trying to get into that rhythm as soon as possible. So any sort of weakness right now will just be magnified tenfold with the fact that the cars are all so close together. Coming now down to the last big break of the course. And now it's just all about horsepower up the hill here. Now Gallo's out, Fraga is out front. He'll be giving a tow to Sasaki, Barbara and Gallo, who we are on board with now. Let's see what these cars are like in a straight line.
So on board we ride here then with Gallo as we come to the timing line. He's closing up to the back of Barbara. Barbara in turn is not too far away from Takuma Sasaki. Sasaki is very handy in the straight line of that Porsche. Are we going to see Gallo go for a lunge to the inside when he closes up under braking? Carrazza in at the end of the first lap, the only of the hard shot runners to do so. So I wonder if he's going to do an alternate strategy. Is he going to do a two-stopper here? So then, drivers lined up, ready to go on the grid for the first race here tonight in the Nations Cup. This will decide the grid for the grand final. We're in production cars at Watkins Glen for our first World Series event of the season in Montreal, Canada. The crowd are on their feet and ready to go racing, and it's Takuma Miyazono in the Ferrari F50 who will line this one up on pole position. Takuma Sasaki on the front row of the grid, and the Maserati is alongside him. Then the second row headed by the Chevrolet Corvette of Kilian Drumont. Guy de Bruyne, the Dutchman, in the Ferrari F40 in fourth place. He's ahead of Valerio Gallo on row 3 in the Ford GT. Then you've got Jose Serrano in the Lexus LFA. Killian Roach in the Mercedes-Benz McLaren SLR, 7th on the grid, ahead of Coque Lopez in the Porsche 911 GT3. And Helena Stroza lines up P9 in the Lamborghini Diablo, ahead of Guy Barbara in the McLaren F1. And the final row of the grid is comprised by Adriano Carrazza in the Dodge Viper, ahead of the second Ford GT. That's Robbie Heck down in 12th position. Home track for him, Watkins Glen. He'll be hoping to get a bit closer to his compatriot in 7th.
Man, it's just so cool to see this lineup of cars about to take on 7 laps of Watkins Glen. Now look out front, Miyazono's out front in that F50. He, even with the rolling start, is going to be punching a hole for all the cars behind him down to that first chicane. So until he gets there, Miyazono, I imagine, is going to be driving in his mirrors, and pretty much it's his to lose. If you're in mid-pack like Gallo or Serrano, actually you're going to be in the train, in the slipstream train, and you've got as better chance of anyone as moving up the field. But keep an eye out on that Viper, keep an eye out on that Ford GT as well. I was told earlier they're pretty quick in this class, so cars definitely to watch throughout the race.
So, Takuma Miyazono leads the field then around the final corner here at Watkins Glen. We're about to get the sprint race underway for the Nations Cup here for World Series 1 in Montreal. It is going to be Takuma Miyazono leading the field across the timing line, but who will be taking the checkered flag in 7 laps time and starting on pole position for the grand final? We're about to go racing here. The Nations Cup is underway in 2024 as Miyazono leads the field down to T1, followed by Sasaki and Drummond. Don't expect any dive bombs down towards the first corner. That rolling starts spreading the field out a little bit, but when it begins to bunch up in the middle part of the first lap, that's where we could see moves being made. But Miyazono a little bit wide there. Sasaki having a half look to the inside into turn 2, but now he's right in the wheel tracks here of the Ferrari F50 as we come over the crest of the hill and in towards the middle sector. And Sasaki already trying to be on the attack here in the Maserati MC20. Drummond trying to follow him through as well. We're going to be attacking here with Drummond. He splits there too. That is absolutely fantastic for Kylian Drummond. He's on the outside of Miyazono and he leads into the chicane. What a start from the Frenchman. Third to first in half a lap. "35 laps of action to come here tonight for the grand final of the Nations Cup. 12 drivers on the grid, but only one winner for World Series 1 here in Montreal. And here is how the field will be set. It is Kylian Drummond, the Frenchman, who starts on pole position, a fan favourite here tonight. Takuma Miyazono will line up alongside him on that front row of the grid. His compatriot Takuma Sasaki heads row 2. Alongside him is Koke Lopez, the former champion. Next up, you've got Kai de Bruyne, the Dutchman. Can he do well in the X2019? Well, he'll have Killen Roach hot on his heels. Next up, you've got Valerio Gallo, another former champion, 7th on the grid for him. Guy Barbara, the Australian, lines up in 8th position. On the fringe of the top 10, Adriano Carrazza, 9th place, a lot of work for him to do, and likewise, Jose Serrano didn't go his way in the sprint race. He lines up right down the back of the field, as well as Angel Estrosra in 11th place, with Robbie Heck, the American driver, completing a 12-driver strong field. So 3 tyre compounds available, 35 laps of action. Kylian Drummond's on the soft tyres there, JB. He wants to go and get as much of a gap as he can possible early on.
Yeah, for those unfamiliar with the tyre strategies in these World Series events, the soft tyre is a statement of intent. It's saying, I'm going to go fast very quickly at the start of this race. Do not get in my way. And interestingly, only, as you said, Kylian Drummond opting for that, with Miyazono, Sasaki, Lopez and de Bruyne from 2nd to 5th, all opting for that slower medium compounder tyre. Callum Roach, also interestingly, in that hard in P6. So we'll see how that pans out for him.
Well, a very fast-paced race is what we're expecting. 35 laps of action in qualifying. They were doing sub-1 minute laps. I wonder what it would look like under rated conditions, and I am wondering who will be claiming 6 points and the checkered flag in those 35 laps time. It's Kylian Drummond, the man who won the sprint race a few moments ago, who starts on pole position, but will he be taking the checkered flag here at Road Atlanta? It's World Series 1 for the Nations Cup. The grand final begins now as Kylian Drummond leads the field down to the first corner, followed by Miyazono. And look at Lopez already dragging alongside Takuma Sasaki and taking 3rd place down into the first corner. So Lopez with a bold statement of intent, moving up a position already as he sets his sights firmly on Takuma Miyazono for 2nd.
Yeah, Sasaki definitely caught napping there as Gallo does the same to Callum Roach behind, goes up into P6, but Lopez already up into P3. That's important to do that early. If you think you have the pace, try and get out front early and try and get those lap times in. Make the best of a tyre you're on. Drummond, Miyazono, Lopez and Sasaki are your order as we go onto the back straight for the first time. Here, I would say, is the first real overtaking opportunity, but Carrazza down in P7 has already made up 2 places from his qualifying position in 9th. He likes a comeback, does Carrazza, so we'll see how he does as the race goes on. Coming down the bottom of the lap for the first time, heavy braking downhill here, be careful of that, and then very tricky right-hander, try and be careful the throttle over the crest, and that is one lap done here at Road Atlanta. The pace is frantic already.
Yeah, you can see just how fast they're moving around this circuit. You can see how much it funnels down and goes one at a time through that chicane as well. You've got an opportunity to go 2 by 2 down that back straight. Look at this, hard tyre runners, Roach, Barbara, Inestrosa, Heck, all into the pits at the end of this first lap. The hard tyre's lava, they want to get off it and onto the softs.
Yeah, so people coming in for that tyre, you're wondering why they're doing only one lap on this hard compound tyre. Well, the regulations say you have to use one tyre at least once. It doesn't say each tyre at least once, and it doesn't say how long you have to be on the tyre. So if the hard compound tyre is a second lap slow, you know what, in the bin.
Penalties coming in for Takuma Miyazono. Valerio Gallo at the start of the second lap. Is that track limits? It must be. Yeah, half a second there for Miyazono. That's going to drop him into the clutches, and if not, allow Coque Lopez to get past it. He's coming into the penalty zone, is Takuma Miyazono. And what about Lopez? He's going to go cascading on through and says thanks very much and goes into second place then. So the Spaniard having a quite brilliant start to this race, and now he's got his sights firmly set on Kylian Drumont.
Coque Lopez is comfortably the most experienced man here out of anyone in the field. This guy's he's done 63 races he's done at these live events. He knows how to win races. He knows how to win championships. So, yeah, definitely any move to be made, he'll make it. On board Sasaki, what a great camera view. This gives you a real sense of speed of this thing. I drove this thing around to yesterday, and I got to tell you, it is very difficult to keep up with this thing. It's incredibly quick for this S section.
You can see that you can't go 2 by 2. It's one at a time through that section of the lap. Then it begins to open out a little bit, but there's not that many heavy braking zones on this circuit. You go down into 4th gear for this right-hander. It's the chicane really where the best overtaking opportunity is on this track, and you can see now it's the age-old story. Miyazono versus Sasaki. They were knocking 7 bells out of each other in the sprint race here earlier on tonight, and now they're close to one another, nose to tail on track. But Miyazono darts under the slipstream here of Coque Lopez as we come down the back straight. Miyazono's got the inside line, he's got track position, but does he have the overspeed on Lopez to get second place back? He does. So Miyazono firmly asserting his dominance over the Spaniards.
The draft is so strong in these cars. You might notice, look out front, look who's managed to break that draft already on that soft tyre. Kylian Drumont. So watch out for Kylian. He needs to put in some very quick laps now, but we'll check in with him later. Meanwhile, on board still with Takuma Sasaki. This time it's Coque Lopez. He's looking at the back of and not his countryman, Takuma Miyazono. We go back down the hill here. What an awesome circuit, Road Atlanta. One of the best circuits in the US, in my opinion, and probably in the world, actually, if we're going to talk about that. But such a challenge for these guys and these drivers. And look at the back of Sasaki. Look who's managed to catch him back up. It's Kai de Bruin. Out of nowhere comes the Dutch driver. Looks up the inside here. Inside onto the straight. And Kai de Bruin up into 4th place there. Just biding his time, made the pass. But now he's going to be giving that draft to Sasaki behind him.
Yeah, lunging onto the scene and lunging to the inside of Takuma Sasaki was Kai de Bruin then. And Sasaki's trying to repay the favour as we come down this back straight. A bit of a tap of the lights there for de Bruin as we head down into there. But you can see him feathering the throttle here to Takuma Sasaki. He doesn't want to go past. He wants to use the slipstream to his advantage. I wonder, because we're expecting this to be a bit of a fuel consumption race as well, if he's just trying to save a little bit of fuel in these early stages as well.
Yeah, Stewart seeming thinking something to investigate there between the two drivers. I don't think so. It's just hard racing from there. But going back up the hill here, and already the gap between De Bruin and Lopez. You see this going on. Here's a replay actually of a bit further down the hill. This is Serrano and Carrazza. So Serrano gets past Carrazza, just getting a little moment off that curb that I saw him in qualifying make that same mistake. It's very tricky to put down 800 horsepower with no traction control at that corner.
Yeah, especially with the aerodynamics are not working at their optimum, because of course you're not going that quick coming out of that particular turn on the track. Very aero dependent and very aero efficient cars, these machines. You can see Lopez there now down in 3rd place, 7/10 of a second. He's sort of dropping off the back of Miyazono at this point. Sasaki's down into 5th position then at this point. De Bruyn's up into 4th place. So down this back straight we go, and Sasaki with now more work to do than he was anticipating at this stage, especially given where the Japanese driver started. But De Bruyn is on an absolute flyer here. He's right onto the back of Coque Lopez. They're both on the same combat of tyre. It's not like De Bruyn's got an advantage with tyre combat. He's got a phenomenal amount of pace. He's got the inside line. Can he lunge into T1? That was audacious from Kai De Bruyn as he goes up into 3rd place.
Those sort of moves are just 100% commitment. Kai had already decided before it even got past Lopez that I'm going for this move. And if he turns in, he turns in. But Kai needs to do that. He's got pace right now. He cannot afford to have that pace hindered by the cars in front of him. Coque Lopez, very quick driver, but I wouldn't say in these cars he's the quickest in the field.
Just to give you an idea of the difference in terms of pace between De Bruyn and Lopez. Lopez last time around a 1 minute flat, 7.94. Kai De Bruyn, a 1 minute flat, 1.62. 6/10 per second faster. In these cars around this lap, that's a 4 nights worth of pace.
And that is the fastest lap of the race, even faster than Drumont on the soft compound tyre.
Well, it's not over yet, is it? This one with Kyle Brun. Kyle Brun is Sasaki under investigation, so I wonder whether that's what caused Sasaki to go down the order. Let's have a look and see what happens later on as this continues on.
That's no further action, Tom.
Right, sorry, beg your pardon.
No further action there, so the steward's sinking it, that's fine. And we go back to some amazing battle. 290 kilometres an hour for the apex of T1 there. I cannot imagine the size of these virtual drivers and their necks are through there, been massive. But what happened there? Sasaki just through, I think Lopez got on the curb a little bit there?
Yeah, quite possibly, unless they said no further action, unless there was a bit of contact that we didn't see, and Lopez has just been legitimately thinking of letting off. I don't think that would be the case, but again, we didn't see exactly what happened. Anyway, it now sits with Sasaki in 4th place, Lopez in 5th position, De Bruyne up the road in 3rd place.
Interestingly, Tom, sorry, I'm just looking at the timings. Amir Zono was quicker than Drummond that lap. And there's no slipstream, that is just pace. So maybe those soft tyres are starting to go the other way. Maybe the medium tyres are time to be on around here.
Well, we're expecting the tyre distance to be about 7 laps or so, weren't we? We're expecting the mediums to be the favoured bit of rubber underneath these drivers. And Valerio Gallo there sitting in 6th place at the moment, not having too bad of a run. Got a good view of the battles unfolding in front of him, but he's not quite in contention for the podium places at this stage at the moment. This is what we are used to seeing in these longer formats of races. It starts off quite frantic, it gets a little bit quiet in the middle stages of the race, and then it really picks up towards the end as all the strategies begin to unfold in front of us.
Right, we're using all that curve there and a bit more and some of the grass on the entry and the way in there. You know what, if it works, it works. And if the stewards don't say it's within track limits, then it's all free real estate. So, following Valerio Gallo as he closes onto the back of Coque Lopez. Lopez had a great start there, managed to get up to 3rd place initially, but since then maybe lost a little bit of the pace and is starting to fall back down the field again. Drummond managing to lap a bit quicker that time around than Miyazono, but they're just trading lap times, so it's interesting to see that soft tyre not quite performing at this stage of a stint.
No, just see Kylian Drummond there, 2.3 seconds the advantage he has on that soft compound tyres. Is he going to be coming in within a lap or so? Goes round this time, carrying on with those tyres, 1 minute flat 7.03. He was half a second slower than Miyazono last time around.
So maybe.
Let's have a listen here to Lopez. Well, fascinating to hear there from Coque Lopez. Really good to get a bit of backstory about the driver, the former Nations Cup champion, as he sits in 5th position. Right behind him, though, is another former champion, Valerio Gallo. Look at the tyres on the rear of Kylian Drummond, down to 23%. They're going to be feeling pretty second-hand at this stage, and they're going to be going down at a vast rate of knots. He carries on in the lead of the race for another run round. Does the Frenchman at the moment.
He's got a box. He's got a box soon. He's doing 108s right now.
in line. We all feel left alone in the mist of everything we see. Blinded by what's in front of what others may think is the way. Only we can change the world. Now it's time to wake up. 'Cause it makes no difference. With no borders to separate. 'Cause we're all not that different. Together. Whenever you think you can't go any further, don't forget you are the only one. Whenever you feel that everything is a lie, don't believe you are the only one. No, feeling lost in this world, fighting every day to find the answer. We can't lose this hope. It is time to stand up. 'Cause it makes no difference. With no borders to separate. 'Cause we're all not that different. Together. Blinded by what's in front of what others may think is the way. Only we can change the world. Now it's time to wake up. 'Cause it makes no difference. With no borders to separate. 'Cause we're all not that different. Together. We are one.